Hello, everybody. This is Mandy at Laugh and Grackle. We are going to be having our transparent tonight, so let's go ahead and get started.
Nine of Wands reverse. We might be on the receiving end of an attack of some kind, or that we've got someone who is paranoid and smothering us so much that we can't be open about who we are and what we want. Eight of Swords reverse. This card lets us know we might have been fearful of moving past pain, but we're ready to dismantle our own prison. We've decided to stop hiding and embrace our freedom at last. Ace of Pentacles upright. Definitely a new beginning, but it's not ready to put it into practice. This card is telling us to allow things to come into fruition in its own timing. The Empress upright. This signifies growth in our lives, career, and relationships. This talks about Mother Nature willingly to share unconditionally her bounty and again tells us to be patient with the growth coming in. Combined, we have someone who is jealous of our progress and wants it for themselves, so they try to attack us at some point, but we're done letting others deciding our fate or old thinking patterns that held us back and take the leap to do what we want and love. We've noticed that the things we want to do isn't complete in this stage, so we have to do some more planning, research, and learn more about it before we can put it out into the world. Remember, don't push things, it'll happen when it's ready. The things that we need to learn about will be shared in its own time. Just like a great crop to bring its biggest held, most flavorful fruits, is when it's time to enjoy it.
The Nine of Wands is about somebody is trying to attack us for some reason. Either, they're paranoid and, it's, they're smothering us, being a little bit too clingy and things like that. And it's not allowing us to be who we are. And the Eight of Swords, we might have been kind of holding back and not really wanting to move forward because we were fearful of the past. But this particular card is letting us know we're ready to break out of that. We're done dealing with, somebody else making that decision for us. And, we're also, not allowing these, self-deprecating type thoughts to sit there and actually make that decision for us going from here onward. The Ace of Pentacles. We've got something that we're ready to move on with, but we don't have everything that we need. We still have something either to learn, to, master, to, doing things like that. And it's also sitting there and letting us know, take your time with it. Allow it to flourish whenever it wants to flourish. Now, the Empress, this is about that growth. It's letting us know that yes, we have, this growth coming in, and it's kind of Mother Nature based type stuff, and she's willing to share it, but there again, it's going with the Ace of Pentacles and saying, Allow it to happen in its own time. Now, the combined. Somebody is jealous of our progress. And, either they're not wanting to work for it or they want to jump steps. And, that's why they're trying to take what we've done. And, they just want to sit there and come in, like a hawk and take whatever is there. Now, because we're done with all this other crap, this is letting us know that we have to break out of what we are doing that is holding us back. Now, whenever we sit there and we, toss those things aside, we kind of go on about what we need to do. Now, there again, at this time, it's not where it needs to be. We need to do some more planning, researching, or learning about what we want to do. Because if we sit there and we do it right now, it'll flop. We have to do it this way. Now, talking about the whole waiting for it to do its thing. You wouldn't go out in a crop whenever it's still green. We have to allow it to grow more and to get its flavor and to get its, all these things that makes a really good crop a really good crop. And so we need to kind of hold back because, you already know we're ready to jump. And, whenever we sit there and we allow it to do that last minute type the end part of growing, it gets kind of, I want to do it. We can't do that. Allow it to do what it's going to do, then go out and pick our crops. Let us do what we need to do in order to get this thing to do it right. So we are going to be having our soul coaching and our stained glass tomorrow. So come on back and see me.